It's coming up, bro. Yeah. Get it in. That's how we do. That's how we do. Woo! Hey, watch this shit we got for today. Never. What's good, y'all? There ain't no other crew in the world like this and never will be. What's good, Stu Dog, Sixth Element of Hip Hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is your co-host, Stu Diggy. Yes, sir, Corey. There we go. We here. I'm sorry, Monday we was a little bit not here, but here we here. We doing the thing on Wednesday. We got the X-Men show going on Wednesday, man. Salute, Corey. What's good, everybody in the chat?
Salute.
Peace. We have a new day and time. At least during the rest of this Wednesday and next Wednesday, while the X-Men show is popping on Wednesday, because I want to get right to it. I hate waiting the whole week to talk about it, because it's too exciting. So we got that for today. I got a couple of unboxings and some dope reviews. So
that's what I'm glad you. I meant to get that. I gotta pick that up. What's today? Wednesday. I'm gonna have to go tomorrow.
Bruh,
get that today. Damn.
Trust me. Where's the? Trust me though. You need to get it. There's something else too that I read that was crazy. Where's the other one? I'll find it. But yeah, so we got to get into that. Let's hop right into the unboxing. That's the fun shit. So off top, Stu, I just showed you this. Somebody just hooked me up with a dope flash that we've been. Look at that. We've been wanting a flash like that because there has not been one.
Nah, there was one a while back, but you can't find it.
A long time ago, but there has not been a really decent flash. There's always your Wally West and all of that, but really the reason I love this right now and that I'm so happy that I got this. Blam. But here's why that's dope. Let me show you why this is even doper than that. Y'all, some of y'all might not know. Let me get it right. It's got it. The presentation is everything here. Hold on. Splah.
Yeah,
that's peak. That's peak. That's a peak.
Yeah, that's crash. Yeah, that's crash. That's crash. We put them together like that.
Hell yeah. That's cool, man. Shout out to my homie Big Lee for hooking that up. And also where my other hold on.
Damn.
It's all yeah. This piece right here. Yeah, so y'all know we have the X-Men 97 Marvel Legends series that just came out, and this right here goes to the set, to the crew, to the squad, and it looks beautiful, dog. It looks just like the show, everything, obviously. There they are right there. Very basic, right? They're the original basic animated version. Really cool comic book style. Let's bust him right out of the box. That's how we do. Y'all know how we get down. That's how we get down. We ain't no reason in holding in the box.
Nah, it's just the way you put it. It's like we just gonna bust it out, keep it moving. Huh?
That's it. But there we go. Couple of swipes of the razor. Look at that. Now, I was like, damn, dog, why they just gave us no articulation, scissor arms and legs. But they didn't. The reason I thought that is because there's no elbow and knee joints. but they did that to keep the cost down. They did that to keep this the same price as the regular figures. Had they put
Mm.
articulation joints, would have upped the cost because there's a lot of plastic. It's a big piece compared to the other figures. So that way they could keep the price point with the other figures, which was a cool idea. And I was pleasantly just surprised to see that they're not scissor joints. They're fully articulated shoulders and knees or hips, so they go all over. They're not just. It's not just this. Like I thought the scissor effect. That's what I mean by the scissor effect. Like where the hands just go like this.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
straight up and down.
these go all around. They go all around. Is there a wrist swivel? Yeah, there's a little bit of a wrist swivel. So that's cool. There is some articulation. Also, the boots and the gloves are like a rubber material almost. They have like a rubber
Oh
texture
wow,
to them.
you
And then of
can't
course,
tell from here.
no,
You
you
can't
can't.
tell. Yeah.
But yeah, but so like I said, the box is the art's cool. Obviously, it's from right there. But yeah, the main chassis, and the legs and arms are that brittle, hollow, you know, plastic. But the boots and the gloves are nice, like a nice rubbery type. I don't know, like a you know what I mean. And then the head, let's see, it swivels left to right. It also has a little bit of up and down action, not much, just a little, but it does kind of look all around, looks up and down somewhat. Um, I would have really preferred if there was a little bit of wrist action where he could do like a blast, a
That would have
blast.
been dope.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, that would have
blast
been dope.
pose. Yeah, but hey, it's just gonna sit on the shelf anyway, behind the crew. So I'm gonna have the X-Men where I've got the whole team right there. There's the whole X-Men team right there. You see the big X. So I got the whole X-Men '97 team, except the next wave that they actually just postponed. So very sad to say, if you were waiting on Jubilee and Beast like I am, and who else was it? Sinister. They already did Sinister. I got a Sinister. I don't know if it's '97. There's a few more characters that they're gonna do, and they would have been out this year, but for whatever reason, I forget what the excuse was. I don't care because I'm pissed about it. They're postponing it to like 2025, 2026. So for whatever reason, now you
Damn.
can't
All right.
complete the fucking team. But I digress. This will sit nicely right there behind the fucking rest of the squad. Yeah, I like it. I almost passed on it like 3 times. I thought it was one of those how they'll do the 12-inch kids toys where they'll do like the big ass Wolverine will be like this big and shit. And they're just kids toys. But this is actually to go with the X-Men '97 Marvel Legends figures, and like I said, it's a little bit more than just the basic articulation. So very happy with it for the price. Not that I paid for it, but it's got a good price point. Uh, but yeah, shout out to my homie for hooking that up. Where's that at? All right, y'all. Never mind. Yo, baby D, thank you. Good looking out.
I didn't even know those existed because I definitely would have got one. But now I
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can go grab one at Walmart, I think. I know. But yeah, grab
Your Walmart might have it, but my
if you've
Walmart
been
be like,
yeah, well, if you're like me and you've been fiending for a good flash, a good flash, they haven't had that. I don't like the ones they put out where he's like he's wearing armor and shit. Like, and it just this is like almost comic book OG.
I don't like the ones.
But yeah, yeah, it goes with my Eobard and my Flash comic, so that's cool. Get Fury. Dog,
Yo, I've been meaning to get that.
I'm telling you, Y'all don't do yourself a favor, waste no time, and get yourself this Get Fury #1 and add this to your pull list because the story is getting amazing. So I was gonna like not read comic that night. The other night, I was like, I'm not gonna. And then I like, well, let me look inside, and then I saw the art, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not impressed. The art, I really wish that they had done better. I really wish this was like, like really good pencil drawn art. When instead it's this kind of computer drawn. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not. You know, it doesn't match the story. This is a really dope story. And the art just looks kind of like computer done, very basic. Not a lot of detail. You know what I mean? Not a lot of shading and detail and shit like that. Just very simple. But man, does the story make up for it. Yeah, I got right into it. I was like, I tell you what, I'm gonna read the first page. I'm gonna read the first page. If it draws me to the second page, I'll read the second page. And then if that shit holds me, yeah, I'll read it tonight. But I don't really feel like reading it. Man, I was hooked. Right off the bat, the first page is this little dude right here, Vietnamese man. He's sitting there and he's just like breaking it down. He just says, "My name is Lee Trong Yep. My wars began when I was 12. I fought the Japanese, the French, the Americans, the Cambodians, the Chinese. I no longer recognize my country, Vietnam. The ideals for which I strove were lost along the way. I wait for death. Food and drink have lost their taste. No woman's touch inflames me. My crumbling body mocks my restless mind. All that remains is mischief." And he has like a little shitting grin on his face. And then next page he says, "I have known countless soldiers, enough to man a dozen armies, yet two always wander back to both conundrums, both such sublime expressions of their very soul of war as to stagger God in heaven. They are Americans, which should come as no surprise." And then it goes to talking about Nick Fury, who's right here. You see Nick Fury, and then it talks about Frank Castle, who's over here looking just like Arnold in Commando,
Mm-hmm.
just like Arnold in Commando. But uh, save me to sit here reading you the comic, which I'm not gonna do, but it basically starts off. They call Frank Castle down to the command center and tell him that they need him for this mission. They tell him that Nick Fury's been captured, taken prisoner. There's basically like no way into this place. Where he's at, you can't get in. If we send a squad of black ops squad in there, they'd never get out. Like there's no way to get him. The only thing we could do maybe is get a bullet in there. So Nick Fury knows too much. He knows everything about the Americans, everything, and he's about to be, basically probably tortured for all his information. So of course Frank Castle catches on right away and he says, "So you want me to kill him?" And they're like, "We really like what's the option?" He's like, "There is no option." So basically
Mm.
the Punisher is sent in by the Americans to kill Nick Fury because Nick Fury, right, could potentially give up shit. Which, I think is fucked up because I know Nick Fury is bad enough that he knows he'd swallow a cyanide pill if he fucking had to. But hey, it's a great fucking story. I mean, you know what? I am gonna spoil something. I'm gonna spoil something because this is gonna make you go buy it. At least it would have made me go buy it. This is fucking. I was like, yo, man, that shit is wow. Hold on, let me get to this shit. And it might not have the impact because you're not like reading it, but they they're being trudged through the jungle by their captors, Nick Fury and his squad. They're taken prisoner and they're being marched through the jungle. And one of the guys falls, kills, dies, gets killed, whatever. One of the prisoners, and he's not quite dead though. And they drop him in a hole and start burying him, and they start just filling dirt over, and you can see him there, pretty much awake with the dirt just going over him, but he's just too beaten to he's just going like that, and they're just burying him. And then you see here Nick Fury and another soldier are basically watching him get buried, and the guy's like, "You okay with this? You're Nick Fury, and you're just gonna stand aside and let this happen?" And Nick's like, "It is going to happen. This is not a goddamn John Wayne movie. Like, it's just me and you here. We're fucking here with our hands tied, and there's 6 guys with guns here. What are we gonna do?" Right? He's like, this is just the fucking realities of it. And the guy's like, "Fuck that." And Nick Fury's like, "I'm telling you to." And then he's like, "No, you fucking good cocksuckers, stop what you do. Savages, fucking savages, get him out of the goddamn hole. He's not just a garbage. He's a human." He's like, "Look at me, you fucking, are you listening to me?" And they just come up behind him and just whack, just slice a piece off like fucking cold cuts with the fucking machete. Just slice a piece of his face off like cold cuts. And Nick's like, fucking, he's like, "Oh Jesus, you poor prick," as they hack him to bits. And Nick's like, "You poor prick." Get up. To be continued. So they're not fucking around. I mean, it says right on the cover, this is a Max comics. So if you know anything about the Max comics, they're explicit content. It's got the explicit content warning and all of that. So definitely worth $3.99. And yeah, that's on the pull list for sure. So what else did I read? I haven't read any of these yet, but that's what's on deck. Did y'all see I hope that you've seen X-Men episode 9. It's part 2 of the 3-part finale, the finale trilogy. And it's a doozy. I mean, the first one was a doozy. The first of the trilogy was the last episode last week. We haven't actually chopped that up at all yet either. Maybe we should touch on episode 8 first. We haven't really
talked about 8, yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't talk about 8.
And we have to real quick, guys, because unfortunately it's part of a trilogy, right? So it doesn't, it's part of the thing. It's part of the 3-part finale. Episode 8 really just pushed Marvel's mutants to the knife's edge of global war, flipping Magneto's story and paying off a reunion 27 years in the making. Even as one major threat is kind of stopped, the X-Men obviously are going to be facing a world-changing battle that's going to change the face of society, of human nature, of whatever, of Earth as we know it, and against their oldest adversary. But the introduction of Bastion and the arrival of the Prime Sentinels has far deeper and broader reaching meaning, I think, than the exciting setup of the big battle, because that shit is going to really go far into the future.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's it's a war that like Cable's future, dystopian futures have been spawned from. And the creator of the show, Bo DeMeo, promised that the Genosha tragedy was just the start of things, and if Magneto's actions at the end of episode 8 reached their expected conclusion, everything could change. And following on from Bastion's attack on Genosha, the X-Men, the episode 8 just explores the idea of collective trauma, a key part of how the show was revived and but has changed from the animated series. Unafraid to reflect openly on how we reconcile events like 9/11, and the episode is a further reminder of just how much the show has grown up since its debut 30 years ago. And yo, shout out salute Raw Talk. What up? Peace,
What's up?
peace.
What's happening?
Raw talk in
What's
the
going on?
house.
Yo,
What up? What up?
Slade, peace. What's up, homie? Yes, sir. Red Devil, welcome.
Shout
The
out to
yeah, man, we didn't talk about episode 8 yet last Monday, which is what we would have done. But now that we're doing the shows on Wednesday with the new show, we're gonna chop up episode 9. Everybody, don't worry. But episode 8 we did not talk about yet, so I want to just do a quick little recap. So what happens in episode 8? Considering that this is only the first part of a 3-part finale, there's a lot packed into the episode, and from wider Marvel Universe cameos, you've got the foreshadowing of the war and all that. Just quick recap: you had Bastion unleashed an army of Prime Sentinels, weaponizing human volunteers against the mutant threat that he perceives or whatever, and my man Cable. Yes, sir. It's my dog. Cable revealed that he was unable to stop Genosha because it was an absolute point in time. And Cable has a big part now in the show, and I love that. He was always one of my favorite parts of the old show. He's one of my 2 favorite characters in all of comicdom, him and Wolverine. But Bastion's future created a utopia, but one in which mutants were slaves to humanity, and perversely realizing Xavier's dream. Val Cooper was working with Bastion, but it turns on him when his plan is revealed. Then Cooper frees Magneto, who unleashes his powers over Earth, wiping out the Prime Sentinels, but putting humanity back to the Dark Ages. Then Xavier returns to Earth, reunites the X-Men, and sets up the confrontation with Magneto. That's basically, in a nutshell, but Bastion's fear, which he weaponized to radicalize willing humans to volunteer as the Prime Sentinels test subjects, underline the mutant threat to humans. And in his future, mutants replaced humans, first by taking their jobs, and then with a population growth that made them the dominant species on Earth. In the present, Charles Xavier's message of tolerance and dream of coexistence led to humanity's downfall and effective eradication. But Bastion, I think, was a dope character for that episode, where he was fully introduced fully. We got to see him in action, voiced by Theo James, and who recently starred in White Lotus and The Gentleman on Netflix. And I think he brings like a very like creepiness, like but a calm, like creepy demeanor to Bastion's the way he talks, takes away all emotion in a way that just makes his message, of annihilation.
More cynical. Makes it more cynical.
Right. Exactly. And so I think this whole show, let alone this season, these episodes right here, the finale definitely plays into modern extinction fears that in society. You know what I mean? Like, it would be wrong at this point to ignore the fact that X-Men 97 once more follows the Marvel Mutants trend of reflecting real world issues. It's what they've done since their inception. They've always, whatever's been going on in society, that's sort of been what the X-Men have been up to. It started with, Professor X being a model of basically Martin Luther King, and Magneto being a model of Malcolm X, and in a way, like, allegorically, that Stan Lee created it. So civil rights, and then it moved more to, like, I don't know, what would you say, more to like police brutality and stuff like that, and then in the 90s, and then now it's more social issues, gender stuff like that. But whatever it is, extinction fears, I think, is a big thing that we can all, anybody can relate to. But yeah, early episodes obviously drew a parallel to the events of January 6th insurrection of the Capitol, and Bastion's extinction plan echoes modern fears about the rise of AI. And X-Men 97's writing team cleverly drew a parallel between mutant kind's superior skills and the advancement of AI, anchoring it to the eradication of jobs, in the name of greater efficiency. And all that kind of stuff plays into the vibe of this show. But by the end of the episode, I think the most important message is Magneto was fucking right. Uh, an echo of the title itself. He's long preached that the idea that coexistence with humans is impossible, much like Malcolm X did before he went to Mecca and saw that everybody was human. But yeah, that's kind of his where he was based on it. And though twisted by years of extremist dogma and periodic flashes of ultra violence, his views were always based on the same fear that Bastion weaponizes that fear. And,
remember, remember Reno too. Yeah, remember Reno. Magneto is like Captain America. He survived World War II, but he's
right,
Jewish. People don't
right.
realize he's Jewish. So he was in
The Holocaust.
a camp. He was in the Holocaust. He was in a camp, an
They
encampment.
show his number. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
showed
his
his.
number. Yeah, he was in an encampment. Yeah, so he lived through that. Saw all the other Jews die. So he's like, well, damn, if y'all would do that to me because I'm Jewish, what would y'all do to me if I'm a mutant?
Yeah,
So that's how he always looks at it. And he carries the scars in the same persona that came out of that. And that's why Captain America fights so hard for what he believes in, because he was on one side of,
they're from the
the Axis
greatest
power,
generation.
right?
Mhm.
And then Magneto's from the other side that got persecuted during the war. So,
Yeah,
that's why he's so extreme. He's either one way or the other. There's no in between for him. And there never
yeah.
will be, because of his beliefs and how he was brought up and everything he went through. You got to remember, he's already been scarred by the
If you
Second
go
World
back,
War.
if you go back to the episode to the animated series, in the '90s, the episode called Enter Magneto, where Storm, kind of challenged on his extreme measures to solve the mutant problem, and his response perfectly sets up his actions at the end of this episode. He said, "I had hoped Xavier would have realized that this childish quest for peaceful coexistence with humans is hopeless." And Storm says, "I suppose that civil war is your answer." And he says, "Better that we die on our feet than live on our knees."
Yep.
And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Tolerance is Extinction. That's the name of the trilogy. It's the name of the episodes, part 1, 2, and 3. It reveals that Magneto's fears of living on our knees wasn't just a twisted view of a possible future shaped by some trauma or whatever, but the very real future that we actually see happening for mutant kind. And Bastion's utopia is exactly what Magnus feared would happen, right? And he was right all along, whatever you say. But episode 8 definitely repeatedly lingers on Magneto's tattoo, the stark reminder of his Holocaust past, and to underline its central message. And as Val Cooper's decision to free him outright states, there should be more outrage at the atrocities that punctuate human existence rather than apathetic tolerance of them. And the permanent branding of Magneto is brought back as a symbol of that outrage and sort of a call to arms, not to allow such events to be accepted and forgotten as quickly as they fucking happened. But I think all in all, man, it was a powerful episode that is a great start to the trilogy. But man, what a good episode! Really, really great episode. I was very excited. This whole series has been dope. The one thing though, I will say, my biggest thing that I loved about the original series was that it pulled from the comics
Mm.
very heavily. Stories, like characters, characters obviously, but storylines and shit like that, right from the comics.
The side ones, the side
Where
stories.
right, and whereas this season hasn't really done that much of yet until now. This, especially today's episode, episode 9, which really I think really was like spot on, like right, like dope, right from the comics. It was very, it was I mean, again, this is the penultimate episode, right? This is not. This is it's a finale episode. It's not the finale. It's the finale before the finale. But this is a 3-part finale, is what we're in the middle of. And things they're looking especially bleak. I'll say for right now. Everything is not looking real good. For the X-Men and for mutants or anybody right now. Thousands are dead following Magneto's latest attack. The planet itself is dying. The X-Men are divided just when the world needs them, to be at their top, and the stakes are very high leading into the finale. And episode 9 makes the most of that action, with a great, tense new storyline. And I'm telling y'all, spoiler alert, make sure you don't care about spoilers, because we're going to get into some shit. And the shit that they do in this episode, right from the comics, I'm going to show you all the comic too. But much as, this episode, Tolerance is Extinction, is a melding of the comic book arcs, the story Operation Zero Tolerance, and E is for Extinction. If you know what I'm saying? That's the second chapter pivots to adapting 1993's Fatal Attractions. And as in the comic, Magneto was renewed his war on humanity, and he seeks to sway the X-Men, to his cause. But tragically, if not surprisingly, he finds a pair of new recruits in Rogue and Sunspot. And Sunspot's heel is turned, his heel turn is a little too rushed, building solely on his mother's rejection of his mutant nature in episode 8. With X-Men 97 moving at such, quick pace. But I think it's a good pace. But from week to week, there's inevitably some element that could use a little more breathing room. But not to complain. I think Rogue's betrayal of the team, in a way, I think is a dope story beat. I thought it was cool as fuck that she went with Magneto. Because, like I said, dude was right. I mean, if you stayed with Professor X in this, when Magneto put that ultimatum to them, it was purely out of loyalty to Professor X. It was not because you felt he was right. But yeah, I think even more so was dope with her decision to kill Trask in episode 7, and you see how she's like really sort of going back to her bad guy roots almost, and anti-hero self. I think the episode is a dope showcase for Magneto himself. He's back to being a full-blown villain, that he always was very good at being, because he's a great villain, because it's like you can kind of understand where he's coming from. And
or is he a villain? You know what I'm saying? Or is he a villain?
He's not to him. He's not.
He's not really a
to
villain.
him, he's not. But to the rest of the world, even to Charles, he's not a villain.
Right.
He's just scarred. Like I said, he was in World War II. Then he's got to deal with the modern day separation. But you got to remember, when he was in Germany, they separated the Jews from the rest of the Germans. They're all German, but they just didn't accept them because they were Jews. And now he's in the world where everybody's mixed. And now they're saying, well, now I got to separate you because you're a mutant. So I don't like you because you're Jewish. And now I don't like you because you're a mutant. So you got to remember, he's going, in his mind, he's like, well, skip it. If they don't, then I just build my own, utopia where we ain't got to deal with that. You heard what he said in the last episode. He was like, listen, when he was in Utopia, he was like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, this is the way it's supposed to be. Like, we just here existing. Ain't nobody bothering us. We chilling. And then when the Sentinels came, it just ruined his. It's like, and like I said, you got to look at the parallels. The Sentinels to him are like the Nazis. The Sentinels come, they destroy the whole Genosha, just like when the Nazis came and kicked all the Jews out and put them all in concentration camps. So to him, it's the same thing. Mutants being hauled away to concentration camps is the same thing to him as Jews being hauled away to concentration camps in Germany. It's the same thing.
He's seen the signs, because even when he was telling Charles, like he was telling Charles, it was like, I see the signs. I've seen this before. I've seen it in stages. I've seen how it's going, and your diplomacy is not working and not getting to these people's heads. We tried that already. You see what the outcome was, and it's going to be worse now. So now I'm taking it upon myself to say, F all that. Yo, before y'all really strike a blow, I'm going to strike first. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Magneto has always been one of my favorites, man, because he was just just thinking. He's like, man, fuck the rules, man, because they're not playing by the rules. Every time you play by the rules, they fuck you over. So now we ain't playing by the rules. It's all out war. Whatever, whoever dies, dies. Whatever. Let's go.
If he dies, he dies.
Exactly. That's my
he dies.
Yeah. And he just, like you said, Genosha, they weren't bothering anybody. They were there where they can exist and be themselves. And the Sentinels just came and attacked them. I think that's what hurt him the most was the fact that Genosha was so peaceful. And they weren't bothering anybody. And the Sentinels just came and just devastated the place. I mean, when I say dead, they just devastated.
Yeah.
Recting. Yeah. Well, before we get to that scene, here's a little little clip right here. Hold on, let me show y'all this little clip. I know we can bust out this clip. Blah, 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 blah. Civilization as we know it. Can y'all see it?
Yeah. I think that's dope that they all got their retro costumes on.
That's what I wanted to fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, Xavier, my hand will be forced. You have been here.
Even Charles got on his retro joint.
Trust my X-Men.
Trust in the X-Men. But yeah, it's also worth pointing out how nice it is to see the X-Men in those costume changes. Yes, Stu. And they might as well, rename the series X-Men 80 with the so many characters that have reverted to the classic Chris Claremont, John Byrne 80s aesthetic. But yeah. I don't want to see all the costume changes become permanent, but I'm loving Wolverine in the brown suit. That's my shit. I don't know why. I just like that suit because it's like the OG, like the original. It's not even his first suit, but it's the suit that I first saw as a little kid. That was the first time I ever saw Wolverine in the brown suit. Yeah, man, Wolverine is one of my favorite characters in all of literature and comics and everything. But he really got it good in this episode. They really it's from Fatal Attractions, straight from the comics. It's straight from the comics. But there's one particular scene that falls into both Easter egg and comic moments and epic shit, iconic shit. But it involves Logan, an iconic and brutal moment from the comics that was adapted to the show, and now fans are just freaking out all over the fucking Twitter. It's going nuts. But yeah,
them up, didn't they?
we were treated to the aftermath of Charles Xavier's return and Magneto's decision to cause global blackout, and it leads to countless deaths. And villainous Bastion plans to take his stand against those who would oppose him. Lines are drawn in the sand, and ultimately Xavier and Magnus disagree on the latter's decision to create a new mutant sanctuary on Asteroid M. Again, right from the comics. Asteroid M, the big asteroid Magneto's floating around on. That's his next utopia. That's his next Genosha. That's his next, mutant sanctuary. And he manages to sway Rogue and Sunspot to his cause. That's the first two. But, he's always got his brotherhood of mutants, and it's a dope team. But eventually I think we'll see that. But Xavier's team splits off in one group, and they take on Bastion and his forces. And man, did y'all see how Mr. Sinister was fucking flying around and shit, turning into fucking shadows on the ground? Dude, that cat is powerful, bro. That cat was all over the place in this episode. Very agile. Usually you think of Mr. Sinister as just kind of, an old dude kind of, doing his scientist thing and standing around and being creepy. But this fool was doing somersaults and backflips and flying around and doing all kinds of dope shit like a vampire. It was great. Professor X, Cyclops, Jubilee, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine all travel to confront Magneto, and sort of at the end of the scuffle there, you have first Xavier's trying to get the helmet off Magneto, and so he can get into his mind. Wolverine jumps on Magneto, gets the helmet off. Magneto goes bananas, and Xavier catches him and starts to do his mind thing on him, and Magneto's like, and then Cyclops hits Xavier with the beam, knocks him back because Gold Team still has to do their thing, and he didn't want him to kill Magneto at the time. And then Magneto goes bananas, starts killing Xavier. He's getting ready to go, all the way, and you see the 3 claws just come through his chest.
Yeah,
Wolverine just punctures him from behind. That shit was ill, and he was just like, oh. And
even his one-liner was ill when he got him. He was like, I finally got you.
Yeah, I've been waiting to do,
because he can't get close to Magneto.
Can't get close to him. Yeah.
He was like, got him from behind too. Like, the only thing I got an argument with is that, and I know it's for TV, I get that, but Wolverine would have been a kill shot for Wolverine that close and to get him from behind.
Like, I mean, but
got him better. Yeah, Wolverine would have got him better. But I mean, we got to do it for the cartoon, so I'm cool with it. But
I thought he was done. I thought Magneto. I thought this was a death scene. I didn't know where they were going with this until, because at first I was like, they're not gonna do this to Wolverine yet. I mean, it's too early, man.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
But man, he's there and he's just like, Magnus turns around and just fucking, what's coming, because if you've ever read the comics Fatal Attraction, when you see this, you start seeing Magneto pulling the adamantium off his bones out through his skin. And it reminds me of this scene from the comics right there, and that's Magneto pulling the adamantium out of his bones, out through his skin. Plunder the gods' privileges and give them to the creatures of the day. He's just saying wicked shit. A tragedy called life, Logan. But yeah, it says Wolverine doesn't scream. Indeed, he doesn't even have the time, as the adamantium, which was long ago bonded to his very bones, is destabilized on a molecular level and ripped from its moorings and forced through his open wounds.
Yeah, that's how he got the bones.
And that's how his bone claws, you start seeing the bone claws. Yeah.
Well, they said when they made Wolverine, when he was in the Weapon X program, they actually, he was the only one that was his mutant healing ability. People think it's his claws, but his actual mutant ability is his healing factor.
Yeah,
he was able to survive the process because it would kill
that and the claw bone.
Do it.
That and the bone claw.
But claw bone, that's like a added plus. But his that's an added plus. But his power really is his mutant healing ability, because Wolverine can't get sick. None of that. He heals so fast.
That's how they were able. That's the only reason they were able to put the adamantium on his bones.
Yeah, because he healed.
He's the only guy that could survive that process.
Right. When they did it to Sabretooth, they had to enhance his healing ability in order for him to survive the process.
Yep. And there's a lot of tweets. It says Wolverine's claws ripped out, Magneto gutted, Jean obliterated by Cable. Oh, that's another thing. So Cable has to kill Jean because Sinister is like controlling him, and he has to kill his own mother. That's crazy. She fucking sends.
Technically,
That's what the technovirus does. Makes him
But
able to be controlled.
technically, he's not killing his mother. He's killing the originate.
True, it's not his mother. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not his real mom, right?
Yeah, his mom was the clone. So
Yeah.
I mean,
but in the comics, the
well, genetically, because the clone was made from genes, she kind of is genetically like.
I mean,
they got the same genes, they got the same chromosomes, because she kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind, it's like time travel. It just can't make sense.
If they did a DNA test, it would show that she was his mother. Put it that way.
But at the same time, his mentality is like he's been separated from them. Period. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have no real. I mean,
but if anybody, he really has a connection with Madeline Pryor.
Yeah,
that's the one. He was like, "Mom," and that's who birthed him and all that, and carried him and all that. So he ain't wrong. But the moment in the comics in 1993 was Fabian Nicieza and Andy Kubert's X-Men number 25, and that issue. That I just showed y'all shows Magneto and Wolverine having a confrontation before coming to blows. And it was during the battle that he pulls the adamantium through his wounds, and ultimately Wolverine does survive due to his healing factor. But it's a dope moment from the comics, man. And I was just, man, I'm always so happy when they pull stories out the comics. They think that that's a weakness or a bad thing or a flaw when they don't make the story up. No. That's what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah. Thank you.
That's it.
Yes. That's all we want to see.
Nah, man, I like them embellishing and messing shit up. Nah.
Well, I know you. Yeah.
Nah.
But it is fair to say at this point that X-Men 97 has truly been putting these characters through the emotional ringer, but definitely coming from the comics with some good storylines. And I know everybody was devastated by the destruction in the 5th episode, which had the death of Gambit and Genosha and everything, but the hits just keep coming, bro. Like every episode since then, it's been like crazy shit. And I love that. The epic stakes and big shit happening all the time. This show is the best thing I look forward to each week. And there hasn't really been a show like that for me. There's been shows like I'm watching, but there's nothing I'm like really excited for the next episode. For a long time, it hasn't been that way. I mean, I can't think of the last show like Andor. Like I can't, it's been a while, man. And the hype for this show has definitely been real, the whole way through its run. But it feels like that hype has been magnified since this 3 finale part kickoff here. And this is going to be phenomenal. This whole little finale here.
I think it's like the old series was, if they kept the series going, it would have escalated. Because I think that's what it really is. It's a levels of escalation and how it can get when you have an oppressed people, class, mutants, and they're trying to keep the peace, but knowing that they can go mega level and level all humanity if they wanted to. At the same time, so that's why you have this dude that's from the future, but he's the main sentinel, through Mr. Sinister and all this craziness. That was just to save humanity. He's trying to save humanity from the mutants and themselves. Told. But unbeknownst to that character, he don't know how the mutant level can go. It's like on some Kendrick. I can go much more. Don't push me. That's what it is with the mutants. And we're seeing that escalation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing that escalation, and it's wild.
Hell yeah. I mean, look at what happened. Well, another, I think one of the big shocking moments, obviously, was what happened with Jean Grey and Sinister. And I don't think we know for sure if she's dead or not. So that could still be, maybe she's not. But she did scream Well, Scott screamed when he thought because she just like sent him a vision of like, I love you, Scott. And as she was getting blasted, and it kind of looked like she evaporated, and Scott was like, no. But obviously,
we know when she evaporates, that's a sign of, she still got the Phoenix with her.
Yes, exactly. So that's what. Yes, that's a very good point. And I think even if she did die, it would still be cool because yes, she'll come back as the Phoenix. But yeah, I think it's unlikely that the show is going to legitimately kill Jean permanently after already losing so many characters. It would be, I mean, this ain't Game of Thrones here. And it wouldn't be right for Jean, to die, especially, as, she's kind of like replacing Madeline and, that whole thing. So it would be fucked up.
Well, if they want to move it in a new direction, you can have the what's her? Well, no, she died. No, she saved herself when she crystallized. What's her name?
Oh, Emma Frost.
Emma Frost. Yeah.
Remember in the books, she takes over as well, and as a one of the leaders in the later on.
What is her power? Like, what is besides being able to?
She's a telepath.
She's a telepath like Charles and them.
Yeah.
Right.
And that and the diamond power. But yeah, she's one of the most powerful telepaths in. She's an Omega level.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's top notch shit. But yep. Ever since I think this show premiered, there's been rumors about, the X-Men themselves donning new suits before the end of the season, and we did get to see some of those rumors come to fruition. We saw their uniforms and new uniforms and old uniforms, but new to the show. You had Cyclops and Jean wearing their classic joints, the OG uniforms, and Jubilee with her new bodysuit that she bought in the previous episode. Of course, with her iconic yellow trench, and then Storm's got her new suit too, and because she was all in all white at first, now she's in all black, and Forge is there. He's looking dope. Then they threw Cable Cyclops' suit. So remember, Cable when he has the X-Men suit, that's what Cyclops just gave him. So yeah, we'll be seeing that soon. And they just put out a new figure they just got they just put out a pre-order a little bit ago. That Cable. Yeah, with the
X-Men suit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it dope, or is it, you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's dope. It's super dope. I think it's gonna be probably one of my favorite Cable figures. There's not a lot of good Cable figures, I will be honest. There's really not. Sadly,
this one.
There's not a lot of good
one with all the packs, the pouches and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah. Right, that's the one I want to see. I want shit like that, like from the X-Force, from the OG X-Force books and shit. But they haven't really. They have one like that. I've got it. It's the only one. It's decent. But yeah, they really need to make some more Cables, man.
Is that the one from the Sauron? Is it Sauron or is it? Or is it the Wendigo Build-A-Figure? I think it's the
Wendigo. Marvel Legends put out a newer Cable.
That's the one.
The movie. That was the movie Cable. So that. Oh yeah. See, yeah, that's the one from
that's my favorite one.
Yeah, he's the dopest one.
That's that's the old school.
Yeah,
like X-Force shit with the pouches and pockets and.
Yeah, he's no joke. That one is dope. I had that figure. I was like, I had to give him up.
Damn.
Yeah, I had to give. I mean, I got him up, got rid of him for a good cause.
Yeah. No, you did. You did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hook this dude. I'm gonna have to customize this. He needs some paint apps, man. I could detail the shit out of him.
Oh, he needs some silver paint.
He putting it right on this on
ain't,
the
like,
arm
ain't
and
no
everything.
shame in his game either. Look at it. He looking like, yeah, well, he gotta be.
But
Bruh.
I got
that's how
silver.
you
Let me
do
put
it,
some
though.
silver on.
You make it for yourself. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw a little black paint in the on the buttons and the flaps and shit. It just gives it definition and detail because
It
when
really does.
they
Yeah.
do a toy and like everything is one color, clothes don't be, pockets and shit have different colors and shit, and then it
Yeah.
just looks better, man.
Before
It just makes
a
it
lot
look
of
better
people would shun people. They would shun people when they would paint them. But if you take
because
your
they look
time and
like
you do it
shit.
right,
If you do it
yeah, if
right,
you take it
yeah,
right and you paint it up real good, it really ain't gonna make a difference.
it
Yeah.
looks just like the manufacturer did it or should have done it.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it. I get the little
Right.
tiny brushes with the good paint and all of that, and I get like real detailed, like the little clip, the little clips. Well, you can't see, but like every strap has like a little clip on it, and the
Yeah.
clip will be the same color as the strap, but you just throw a little paint on the clip, and you would not believe, man, how much better the figures look. Yes, when you put a little detail, a little bit of paint, just little shit. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about like giving them, changing the color of their pants. I'm just talking about putting little buckles and buttons and little, shit like that, little details, man, and it really fucking makes a nice figure. These chrome, and of course the chrome liquid chrome joints.
Tall.
Them motherfuckers.
Yeah, they ain't no joke.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun shit. They look real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they do look good. But that chrome paint, that chrome marker, that thing works wonders.
It does, bro. That shit is amazing.
It's no joke, man. You gotta be careful with it though. You gotta you gotta let it dry thoroughly. Because if you don't let it
Do you?
dry I mean like 3 days type of dry. Don't
Yeah.
touch that joint for 3 days or better. Because you do it a day after, man, you're looking like, what the hell is on my hands? Yeah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What kind of paint? What are you talking about?
At the Molotov. I did that to my Lobo. All the metal parts on Lobo.
Oh.
Through with Molotov, but I neglected to let it dry for a nice amount of time. Start
Mm.
handling it after a day, and
Oh wow.
yeah, like a fool, you know.
I mean, this shit dries really quick.
Mm. They dry quick, but
These pens are dry real.
there's still that little bit of
Yeah, if you do, yeah, like, yeah, if you let it really harden, then
Mm.
you can, yeah, because if you do touch it early, it'll put fingerprints on it and shit like that.
dull it out.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, sure will.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's excellent. I mean, you want that mirror effect. I put that on a Cobra Viper on the shield, the face
Mhm.
mask part.
Okay.
It's like bling, straight up. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
it
It
made
came
it
out that
better.
good.
Yeah, it made it better. The
Okay.
way they should have had it. Just like with Cobra Commander, they should have did it like that vac metal. They should have did vac metal for their face plates.
Mm.
Because if they did vac
That would
metal
be
for the
nice.
face plate, yeah, that chrome
Yeah.
looks.
I do know they got a new Cobra Commander coming out for classifieds. I think it's a
Yeah.
hooded one. I'm not sure.
No, it's not the hooded. It's actually the Cobra Commander that you got in the hiss, but without the Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the OG suit, the OG one.
OG suit. And I think it's a lighter color. I think it's the lighter color one though, because it's
Yeah,
on the retro car, so it's gonna be the lighter Cobra.
yeah. I can't wait for that one, man.
It's gonna be
I've
tough.
really been wanting that.
Yeah, but
I've
that's
really
dope.
been wanting that OG. Well, you mentioned it earlier. Raw talk. We gotta talk. We gotta talk about it. I honestly was gonna like ignore it because it's fucking Drake and it's not really. But
You know what?
and
I've been saying the same thing to myself because people were asking me like, "I ain't talk about the Drake and you know the Drake and thing." I said, "Man,
yeah.
listen, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. But
Oh,
Well,
I
I've
think
been.
it's simple.
long as they can keep it, long as they can keep it cool, But I just read a thing the other day that somebody was firing shots at Drake's house or whatever.
A guy got someone did shoot a guy. Then they spray painted Drake's shop. But I want to talk about something. I want to touch on something. I want to get one thing that I think needs to go down in fucking history. This is the illest shit that has ever been done in a rap battle of any kind. In my opinion, I think that this was the illest move that I've ever seen because it's so effective. Metro Boomin puts out a fucking like I guess like a challenge for everybody to give whoever does the best Drake diss. They get a shout out on his page or some shit. I forget what he gives them. Bro, the influx of Drake disses, all kind of MCs from all over the country. Everybody's pouring in Drake disses. This was the ultimate move, dog, because it's not just you winning the battle. Now everybody's just dissing Drake. Even fans of Drake are putting their best Drake diss. It's just, oh man, the poor bastard, bro. He's done. He's cooked. That was the funniest shit. But I got to show you guys this one. Go ahead.
I don't think he's cooked. What I think with Drake is he has to stick with R&B now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean.
He has to
hip hop live. Yeah.
And be there. He can't talk that tough guy talk. He shouldn't have been talking that tough guy talk in the beginning.
Right.
Because we all know he's wheelchair Jimmy. We all know he's the grassy high dude.
Exactly.
Drake or Kendrick. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Wu-Tang word. Wu-Tang.
Robin says Drake or Kendrick. Whack! Wu-Tang motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Drake or Kendrick. Whack! It's Wu-Tang, bitch.
Forever. So forever, man.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, man. I was just like, well, Kendrick, he won hands down after he dropped that
forget about it.
Beat the Grams. That was over.
The Grams, it was a wrap.
And then the disrespect came after when he dropped the they not like us.
Oh.
That was just like, yo, he just pissed on a dead body type deal.
That was just
like, what?
That was he ethered him.
I will say one thing. They stepped up the beats because I will say one thing with the disses. They stepped up the beats because I remember, I forget who put out a track. I think it was Kendrick. And we were all, because I'm on his YouTube, and everybody on there was like, listen, the lyrics is dope, but you gotta step the beat up. Everybody was like, you gotta step the beat up. Because like you just rhyming to these beats and you rhyming fast and these beats are whack. Like come out with something. After that, he started stepping the beats up when everybody got on, and it's been dope ever since, bro.
But see that, but like they were saying in these dudes called RDC1, he's like, I anticipated. He was anticipating people. He fed off of the people's everything. Like if you thought he was whack and stuff like that with the beats, he wanted that because he wanted to draw the dude in some more. So then he could hit him with the bang. And he did it. I'm like, nobody seen the strategy? Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like this. I'm like, I know what he's gonna do next. He got this dude, he's on high. He think he's the main man in hip hop. No, you're the main man in R&B rap. You're not the main.
What I said on one of these posts, I was like, bruh, Drake is a hit maker. He's a commercial pop artist.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Kendrick is a lyricist. He's an MC. You got to come correct when you battling an MC. And his rhymes have just been real basic, real fucking corny. Like just I don't know,
Drake
just simple as fuck.
Drake ain't never been known. He ain't never been known for lyrics.
The last fucking MC8 about Puffy, and he was like, "You think Puffy could come back from this shit?" He was like, "Nah, bro, you can't come back from weirdo pedo shit, dog.
Nope.
You can come back. You can come back from bank robberies, gang banging, even a murder, but you cannot come back from no weirdo sexual shit, no rape, no pedo shit, none of that, bro.
You can't come back for none of that. No. And then if you think about it, if people like Kendrick exposed a lot without really, I mean, he went in, but he exposed and expounded on Cat Williams stuff. Look at what happened with P. Diddy and Drake. P. Diddy smacked Drake. For what reason? You smack him like your girlfriend.
Like a bitch.
Is it over Meek? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So you look at these little power trips, man. So
there are no, I mean, look, there's no, honestly, bro, Drake's fucking great miscalculation was thinking that him and Kendrick were playing the same game. Kendrick is a lyricist and a street dude. Kendrick is from Compton, okay? He is affiliated. Like
his family is deep.
Born and raised, okay?
That's all I gotta say.
That's why guys just ran up in Drake's house and shot at the dude, and you know, that's just a crazed fan. That's not.
Yeah, that's some other stuff. You don't even know what other enemies this guy got.
That's true, but then his shit got spray painted with the fucking the lyrics of Kendrick's song. They not like us, or spray painted across Drake's shit.
Or it can be something to drum up sympathy.
Hey,
I mean,
it's possible. I think it's more. I think it's more ignorant fan.
Yeah, but who would, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Sometimes it's like, okay, if I can't beat them at this, I gotta use some other methods to get the people back on my side, type deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, there's people known to shoot themselves to look like they were part of the you know what I'm saying, when they were the culprits, and shoot themselves so they can be part of the victims going out. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. But at the same time, I mean, dude miscalculated. He got drawn in. He thought he was you know, rap God Almighty, the sixth God, or whatever he called himself. And I don't understand why people would think that he was exposed for having ghostwriters. You know what I'm saying? When you're exposed for having ghostwriters.
Oh, Pusha T changed everything, bro. And the story of Adidon, bro. Another that was a classic, bro. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Drake's already been fucking destroyed, in my opinion.
Right.
He lost
credibility. He got nothing to do with lyrical rapper. He's just talented, but his family's in the streets. You know, he comes from that. You know, he comes from the streets. There's a lot of people that are talented, but they're stuck in certain situations they can't get out of, and they become statistics. Some of them escape that. Some of them are in that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what it is. You know, at this point, a lot of us escape some grimy shit when we younger, doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And could live to tell about it. I know a lot of brothers that I grew up with ain't here no more. You know, and it's sad. But it's a learning lesson at the same time. Where this is why everybody's out on Drake, because he never had to go through that. He never had to feel that pressure, that the anxiety of, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Looking over your shoulder all the time, not knowing,
retaliation time.
Come on, bro.
Who did this to who? Oh, who's on my block? Who's running this spot? Who's trying to infiltrate? Who's trying to do everything? Is my man trying to cut me out? Never had to feel none of that.
Dog.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why people on Drake now is well overdue. He should stick to R&B, and that's it. That's it. You know, he'll be good as another well, then he can't even do with R&B, because you got a wild dude in R&B. He got Chris Brown. So he can't even stand in that presence, because Chris Brown is a monster himself. From VA, another monster, and with affiliations. Drake just need to retire, man. Take his millions and just chill in Toronto and become a Mountie or something. I don't know what the fuck.
Whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got nice malls up there, I can tell you that much. But
no, I ain't never been out there.
Yeah, I've been up there a few times, man.
I've been in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, man. But it is. But
Questlove was weighing in on with his thoughts on the beef. He says nobody won the war. It wasn't. He said this wasn't about skill. This was a wrestling match level mudslinging and takedown by any means necessary. Women and children be damned. But honestly, bro, like when was hip hop? I mean, when have battles not been that? I mean, were they nice in the 90s? I mean, look at Ether, bro. I mean, I don't know. I guess I see his point, but
when Jay-Z talking about the condom on his baby's
on your seat, car seat,
baby seat in the car seat. Come on, man. Quest bugging. He's trying to be politically correct.
He's trying to get likes.
He's always doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's on his little Tonight Show, and it's cool. But
he said same audience wanting blood will soon put up RIP posts like they weren't a part of the problem. Hip hop is truly dead. Man, come on, bro.
He's coming with that activism shit. He need to
you bugging because this is hip hop. This is like hip hop is back for me type of shit. Like hip hop is kind of fun again. There's some shit happening. It's not just about mumble rappers and SoundCloud rappers and shit, but it.
And we all should know that this, like you said, it was either a crazed fan or somebody that did all this dumb shit, because Drake has no real goons. He did not grow up with real goons.
And Kendrick is not the type who's gonna do that, dog.
No.
Kendrick is not that type.
He knows what that can get result in. He knows what the results are.
He's not an ignorant kid.
And nobody want to lose their fortunes. Nobody want to lose money for some dumb shit.
That's exactly. I mean, I know a lot of people accuse Drake of killing X. I don't think so, dude. I don't think he would fucking risk his shit. I don't think Drake has goons like that. Like you said, I don't think that Drake has it in him to do that, and that's good.
I know the X thing. That's a whole nother issue.
I don't think Drake had nothing to do with that. I don't.
Think. I would say.
I get all but the lyrical shit to me was reaches. I saw all that. I think that was reaches. But again, man, I think you said it best. You don't have goons like that. He's not that type of dude. He's not gonna send nobody to kill nobody. Plus, it was a robbery gone wrong. But I'm gonna tell you. The reason I think that, the reason I really believe that is because the guys who killed X did not say so. Now you got these were some ignorant ass I'm just gonna go rob somebody and kill him type dudes, not and then go post it on Instagram or whatever.
Wasn't that down in Florida too, right?
Yeah, they posted about it. They posted but
you told.
Bro, that's what
they get busy down there. They was even trying to rob Rick Ross when he was down in there. They get busy down in Florida.
That's where I'm from.
Busy. Yeah, see,
that's where I'm from. Born and raised, St. Petersburg, Southside St. Pete. Yeah. We get busy.
He's live. I know.
Real busy. No, it's crazy now. I moved up here to Virginia.
So
it's a different world.
Florida
don't fuck around, but I don't know, dog.
It's just unfortunate. It's like a lot of these musicians, rappers, it could be anybody that got money. If you flossing or you flaunting money or you have any indication of having something, the wolves is going to come. The wolves is going to come. You got to have that field dog that'll help you out of the craziness. The wolves will come.
And I feel
if you stay out of the limelight, you're good. But if you want to be in that limelight, want to be saying this and that and all that, the wolves will come because they smell the blood. Man.
And I feel like exactly. And I feel like them dudes would have snitched. Yeah. If someone paid them to do that, they would have snitched to get time off their sentence or what. There's no question about it. You can say all that, street code all you want.
Oh, there's no such thing. You learn. There's no such thing as street code.
When you facing life,
period. Even back then, there's no
penalty in Florida, bro. They kill you down there.
Fantasy thing, man. When people talk about back in the day we had street codes, you're lying because
you're lying,
snitching on people, trying to get them out of the picture so they can come up in there. All that stuff is make believe for movies, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? My father came up in the game. He taught me a whole lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no street codes. Motherfuckers was lying on this one, that one, nothing.
Telling you, if you believe in that shit, all you know, yeah, you never lived it. You just
it's kill or be killed.
You watching too many movies.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, "Oh, that's make believe, man. That's fantasy stuff they show you." Nah, people was grimy. They were really grimy. You know.
Mm.
And it's what it is now. People are grimy, and now it's coming out on different levels. But far as music, this music game, it's dead. They needed this. Hip hop or rap, hip hop and rap needed this to spark up some resurgence in people getting back into hearing one music, because now you got everybody else want to do this and that. It's only gonna last for another month. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
to a Taylor Swift joint, because in July, the new X-Men, Wolverine, Deadpool, and if she makes an appearance, that's gonna boost her album sales. Her albums charting crazy. So I mean, people, it's over, man. Music ain't what it used to be. It ain't gonna be what it used to be, and we just got to deal with what it is.
Well, the new Ghostface album dropping. The new Nas and Premier album dropping, and my homeboy was like, "Yo, like I hope it's a classic and all this," and I was just like, "Bro, I think all the classics then came."
Yeah.
I think all the classics have come already. I honestly do. I don't think. I think Nas could drop 10 more albums. I don't think we get another classic. I just think that the era is what made those classics, bro.
Exactly. And we were a lot younger and dealing with things.
That too.
So we remember that as our soundtrack. Right now, we're older. We're older dudes, got families. I mean, really, what we gonna talk about? We ain't in the streets no more. Ain't nobody in the streets no more. And if you are in the streets still at this age, you should be ashamed of your fucking self.
You grow the fuck up.
You know what I mean? And even Nas and Ghost, they're not in the streets anymore. So it's like, what are you really rapping about at this point? Are you gonna rap about getting some stock tips? Are you gonna give me some how to buy land or how to circumvent certain things? You know?
Yeah.
Just like Jay-Z. But Jay-Z said, "Yo, man, I mean, he really ain't got much to rap on anymore. Like old dudes so much. Yeah, back in the day, I remember when."
Right.
The fuck. That's why I look at Rick Ross strange. Like, you're not doing none of this, dude. You're living in Alpharetta, Georgia, Alpharetta, in Holyfield's old fucking mansion.
Exactly.
Trying to get studios to go and film movies in your mansion. Why? So you can get tax write-offs every year. So you can write it off as a business. Your home is your business. You're trying to get people to rent your cars for movies and videos, which people ain't doing videos like that anymore. You can do a video. I could do a music video right here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these guys talking all that rah, like, it's all make believe. It's all coming out. The truth is truly coming out.
Well, I mean, you know, I think Drake pretty much has, waved the white flag, as they say, with the Heart Part 6. And, I think we can pretty much call it at this point. But I think a lot of people still are saying, they're divided. I mean, people have their personal loyalties. There's a lot of Drake fucking dick riders out there. There's a lot of Drake meat riders in social media. Still, I still see him. So there's a lot of people. Oh, Drake won. He owned it. The fuck? Are you listening to the same shit? But they're really not. They're listening to it in a different way. They're not thinking about the lyricism. And that's why, that's why I said, I was like, Drake is a fucking commercial pop star. Kendrick is a MC. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare just what they're saying. It's not just about making words rhyme. It's cleverly making them rhyme. It's about wordplay. You know what I'm saying? Innuendos and nuances and all of that shit. It's not what they say only. It's also how it's said. That's where Drake lost. He might have said a bunch. Drake might have, and then when you start defending yourself in the battle, that's you lost, in my opinion. When Drake started explaining and defending himself, like, you're not supposed to defend yourself. You're just supposed to battle. It's attack. This is an offense thing.
Yeah.
You start explaining. It's just like in the street. If you in a street situation, bro, and you start explaining yourself, you lost, bro. You're showing your weakness.
Nobody's trying to hear nothing. But as far as these people in different social media outlets and things being saying Drake won, I think that also we gotta look at that as a tactic too, to gain eyes and views, because they probably know that Kendrick won, but I'm gonna say Drake won so I can get the views of people being contrarian and wanting to say this on my post and put all these posts. It's a tactic. You know what I'm saying? We got to think we're in the age of social media and everybody's trying to get views to pile up monies and stuff like that. So this is what's happening. So a lot of people know common sense, who really know hip hop and rap and battling. They know for a fact who won, but just so they can gain those views to cash in on them, if they have a nice channel or a large channel, they'll play that fence. Like, yeah, I think he won on this, but I also think he kind of lost. That's just a tactic for views, man. So it's like I watch everything, I start laughing. I'm like, in a month, who's going to give a damn?
Exactly.
Who's gonna give a damn?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody gonna be worried about the playoffs. The Knicks is gonna be in the finals or anything like that. So nobody cares about this. At the end of the day. But if these two dudes decide to drop albums in the next month, then that is steered towards their tours or whatever, their music tours or whatever they got going on, their shows. And you know what I'm saying? This is a great build up for those things for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the summer's coming. People don't understand. This is how this works now. The summer's coming. We need some music for the summer. We need some momentum going into the summer. We can't have a dead summer. So Drake and the obvious one is Kendrick. Oh, they went at it. So now they're gonna each have their own little tours or whatever, and then they're gonna drop their albums. So they're fresh off the battle. So now everybody gonna peep. They're gonna say some more in their albums,
right?
You know what I'm saying, or streams or however you want to take it. Now they can sell tour merch and all this, and not like that t-shirts, and they not like us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I peeped the whole game well beyond what is presented. It's all about this at the end of the day. This is to drum up their monies. You know what I mean? It's all it is.
That's it.
I mean,
that's what any good battle should do.
Yeah, Rick Ross seen that, so he tried to jump on into the mix so he can get some people trying to follow him. But dude, nobody's checking for you. Nobody's checking for you.
No,
it's
sir.
old, man.
I mean, yeah, for the past 15 years, you know what I'm saying? You could definitely, every time Drake dropped something, it was the biggest thing. Every one of his 8 studio albums debuted at #1. He's had 13 #1 hits on Billboard, and that's what he does. He makes hits. I mean, that's cool. That's not the kind of music I listen to. That's not what I respect. But you can't, it is what it is. But that shit is over, bro. I think that shit is over. I think Drake's fucking anytime Drake drops it being hot, that shit is over.
I think it's still gonna be buzzing, because then you gotta think about the overseas implication.
Yeah, he can still put some hot shit out, but he's gonna have to work at it.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to work at it.
Yeah, but then you think about the overseas implications on, all right, whatever's happening in the U.S. is buzzing. They can take that overseas and market that like a mug. You know what I'm saying? So,
thank you, hip hop. It wasn't even really a battle, dog. I don't even think I think Kendrick. I don't even think it's a comparison, bro. I think it's not even they're not playing the same game. Like I said before, you know what I'm saying? One guy is a pop star, one guy is a fucking MC. You can't.
You know what I think? It'd be funny if they just sitting back, like watching everything, like, yo, yo, we couldn't have
Look what we did.
We couldn't have planned this better, man. We're gonna make so much money. And Cole is like, yeah, man, word up. I told y'all this is how we should strategize. Like,
oh, what do you hold on? Slade, every time we talk about hip hop on this channel, you don't expand on Stu Dog's opinion. What do you mean?
Yeah, his
I do.
It's felt. I mean,
Stu Dog put me on to some dope MCs. Absolutely. Dog, I feel dog, I really I don't feel that way, Slade. I don't feel like I do that, but I'll definitely keep that in mind, dog, because I definitely respect Stu Dog's opinion, bro. That why you think Stu Dog is the co-host of my show? Clearly, I respect the dude. Clearly, I respect his opinion. Clearly, you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, I wouldn't just make somebody the co-host of my show. I mean, he's not a guest.
I think y'all both have very strong opinions, and y'all butt heads. But that's what brothers do when they have strong opinions. Y'all work it out. Y'all may go through it, but then y'all work it out, and then it's back to the game plan. That's just how it is. That's how me and my brother is, man. Like, we get into it. Me and my brother's worse. We curse each other out. We do the whole thing, but then at the end of the day, yo, we brothers. So
couldn't nobody else do it. Yeah, couldn't nobody else do that to Stu Dog. Couldn't nobody else do that to me in front of Stu Dog. So no, it's not. It's not. And don't think it's. Trust me, we're good. But no, I think you're right. We're both very passionate people. The little bit of my shit came out of me. I apologize, but we are passionate. We talk about hip hop. We get opinionated, and it's one of the reasons we don't talk about religion and sports and shit like that, because people get too fucking heated and too fucking passionate, too fucking on their rock. Most of the time, though, even when we're arguing, we're really saying the same thing, and that's what really gets. That's when you see me getting really frustrated and pissed off. It's because I know that we're saying the same thing. I'm just trying to get us to that point, man. But it's like, I don't know. It is what it is. But
yeah, just like, I mean, even in hip hop discussions and debates, it gets heated because everybody has their favorite or their favorite era or what have you. Like, it came to me. I realized that, to me, NWA is COINTELPRO, but you know what I'm saying. That's my opinion. They're COINTELPRO.
Wow,
that's how I feel. Because remember, we're talking about back in the '80s, KRS-One, Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, everything. Soon as Fuck the Police came out, it was gangster after that. Even though we had Schoolie D, we had Just Ice, we had all these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Dre, Easy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when they came out, they popularized gangster rap.
And then the Chronic solidified that shit, bro.
And glorified.
The Chronic solidified that shit. West Coast was on top for a lot of years because of that shit. And yeah, but then then the South took it, and it didn't get much fucking, like you said in Florida, it's not sweet. It ain't sweet.
It ain't sweet, but y'all love to have fun down south.
But we party.
Yeah, y'all have fun. Y'all love it, and y'all stay in that mode because y'all know it can get grimy and greasy. Now, I used to live down in Georgia, so I already know what it do. I know. Yes. But at the same time,
and it's gangbanging. Believe me. I mean, we've all been. Trust me. But it's not like generational like it is in LA. Where it's like you're born into that shit. Your grandfather, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is generational over there. Yeah. That's the culture. It's a real culture.
And they use that culture out there. They use them like the industry used that art form. And the gangster, these guys were telling what's going on in their hood, how these dirty cops was doing them, and what was going down. But they glorified it. The industry took that. You know what the industry does? It takes it, molds it into what they want to push out there. Oh, yeah, gangster. So this is what the result is.
Yeah.
You have the result of gangster rap ruling through the 90s and 2000s and so forth and so on. Goes into drill, goes into all these different trap and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, before gangster rap, yeah, because people.
It was bass music.
Yeah, I mean, society likes to, they want to put this negative connotation on hip hop, and I always think like, even my son was like, he didn't even know about guys like Common and shit like that. I was like, yeah, it's rappers that don't talk about none of that shit.
Yeah.
No street shit. And if they do, it's in a cautionary way. It's definitely not in a glorifying way. And there's plenty of that in hip hop, but that shit don't get the limelight. The industries don't push that, and the man ain't gonna put that out there. And
And truth be told, like
turn this into an Illuminati show, but
yeah. But like you look at MC Hammer back in the day. Guy loved to have fun, but he was a real one.
Right.
So from the street, right. He was a real one. So he wanted to do something positive because he know what the negative is. He been through that.
That's how artists were. They came from the street, but they were here to do something fun.
Yeah, they want to do and change the whole scenery around for their neighborhoods and things like that. But that gangster rap was too hardcore for was promoted so much in movies and films.
Yeah, I mean, the East Coast had it, like.
Yeah, we had it.
I mean, once Wu-Tang and shit like that,
And then with the Wu-Tang, that was just a lot of brothers that was
Biggie, Nas. It's gangster, but in a New York way.
And it wasn't. I wouldn't even say it was gangster. It was just like hustler stuff.
It's hustler, yeah. It's drug dealer shit. It's dealer shit, like
ex drug dealer talk. You know what I mean?
That's New York. That's New York. Yeah, exactly.
But when I remember when I went to school and came back after, just to better myself, went to high school, finished my high school, went to college. Then when I came out of college and I came back to Staten Island, I found out there was Bloods and Crips on Staten Island. I was like, when the fuck this happened?
Yeah.
I was like, now when I lived in Ohio, I already knew that was going down.
Right.
I had peoples over there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already knew about that. Insane Crip gang, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you had Insane gang.
Coming to Staten Island and finding out there's Bloods and Crips. I was like, who the fuck out this shit?
Latin Kings, folks.
Yeah. Niñetas and all that. I was like, whoa. Blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, it's over with now. It's everywhere now. It's crazy. I mean, but
I feel the same way. I respect some of the mainstream cats for sure. Absolutely. It's a lot. Yeah, definitely. It's some dope music, but definitely my heart is with the underground hip hop for sure.
Oh yeah.
Always. That's the passion. That's the passion. Yeah.
Sound bombing. You got Mr. Eon. You got Necro. You got all these different cats. Really putting in work. I mean, even on WKCR with Stretch and Bobito. Listen to them. I was on Nighthawk station rhyming on there. Me and my brother freestyling for them. I went on the circuit freestyling for independent radio and stuff like that. So yeah, it was dope in the 90s.
Now we got Rock Marciano and yeah. Benny
His first shit was ill to me. Like he was on Pete Rock did the track for Rock Mars.
Mm.
I was like, yo, this dude is a problem.
Yeah. Dude is nice. Dude is fucking nice.
Yeah, he's crazy with it. So I'm like, you got some dudes that it's now underground. It's like a niche where if you're into it, and it's its own language now. Like
now there's a young underground. There's a whole nother underground. There's a new. I mean, the kids, the Gen Z got their own shit that we don't even fuck with. That we don't even know about really. The shit they listen to. And it's just kids doing their own raps. It really don't sound nothing like hip hop the way it's become, but it reminds me of hip hop the way it started. Kids in their bedrooms with their own equipment, putting their own music together by themselves, putting it out. That's the SoundCloud rappers and the you know, the kids. You know, it might not sound like the hip hop we fuck with, but
that's they shit.
In a way, it's fucking hip hop as fuck because they're doing what we were doing. Exactly. They're just doing it their own way, and that's really what they should be doing. I really wouldn't want to see them just mirroring us because it's like we wasn't mirroring no fucking body. We was making up our own shit, and that's exactly what they're doing. People before us didn't like our shit. You know, our parents and shit. They wasn't feeling it. So
I mean, my parents, they were more. I'm gonna tell you this wild story. All right, so back in like '87, right? We were chilling, and this is when Easy, I believe it was 87 or 86. Easy came out with Radio. But before I heard Easy E, that's what my father used to call me. That was supposed to be my, because it was either Heavy E or Easy E.
Right.
My father. But then when I heard Radio, he's like, I'm Easy and I'm on your stage. I was like, I'm like in my head, like, yo, that's me. That's my name. And I'm like, and then find out his name was the same name. We both have the same name. So it's like, oh, whoa. This is crazy. But that's even pushed me more into it. Like my mom and my pop bought my first hip hop records.
Right.
So, you know, Fat Boys and all that stuff. They was definitely in it. My mom and pop, they knew the earlier rappers. You know,
I think my grandma bought me my first hip hop tape when I was like 6 or 7, maybe. It was just like 86 or something like that, 85. Yeah. I mean, she's a real cool lady, bro. She was real hip. Like, she didn't know nothing about it and shit, but yeah.
She knew that's what you liked.
I just knew that's what me and my friends was talking about. That's what we wanted to do, and that's what we was into.
My pop's favorite rapper was LL Cool J. My mom's was what's his name? Lovebug Starsky. She knew him. And I was like, this is like, yo, that they encouraged me into hip hop and rap and stuff like that. So it was like,
that's dope.
You know, but these new kids, like the same olds, these guys are dope. Then you got the Coast Contra guys, they're dope.
They're nice. They're super nice. Man. Coast Contra is crazy.
And then, the two Austin cats, that's Razzcaz's sons. The twins are Razzcaz's sons.
I ain't heard them yet.
Yeah, they're dope. They're super dope. So I'm like, yo, I mean, you got a lot of stuff out there, a lot of cool stuff. It's just we're inundated by the commercialism of the Sexy Reds and all these other buffoonery raps. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Ice Spice.
Yeah. You know, Freestyle Fellowship. Yeah, I remember Freestyle Fellowship. Yeah, man. I mean, you got dudes everywhere, man, and it's just they don't get to shine because why? They're not marketable and they're saying something. Now, the ones who are saying ignorant stuff or just has an agenda behind it, they're gonna get the push. Why? Because they want to keep people dumbfounded, or even if the hip hop or the rap don't have the message in it, it's just skill. It's just letting people expand their minds. That's all it is. It's expanding their thoughts or giving them different views of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, y'all. It's about that time. We got to wrap it, but yeah. I mean, listen. The recent shooting at Drake's mansion might have nothing to do with the beef. Yeah. But if it did, what if it did? You know what I'm saying? We are both old enough to, have been loving hip hop long enough to remember, a few interviews from certain luminaries expressing their regrets at hyping up the beef between Pac and Big after they'd both been killed. Not by each other, not by each other's camps, not really based on the beef directly, but also, yes, based on the beef indirectly. And, their deaths may not have stemmed from their feud directly, but had they let that feud define and consume their Tupac's final year of his career, and Big went to his grave regretting losing a friend, and that the last words that they exchanged were hateful. You know what I'm saying?
And they both were tight at one point, man.
They were,
and it was like I cried for both of them, man. I'm like, damn, like they were my favorite dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What my homies calls my favorite song from Pop.
Yep.
That's my favorite joint.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And Big Party and Bullshit.
Bullshit.
That was my graduation theme music, man.
Word.
From you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I graduated high school, man.
I ain't graduate, but
I could have been dead before my graduation because cops rolled up on me and my boys, heavy guns drawn and everything. We was just chilling in our car. They thought we was robbing gas stations and stuff. Which
wow. Now, I got my GED when I was 16. When I dropped out of 10th grade and got my GED and went to community college instead of junior and senior year in high school. I did a 2-year community college program.
Okay.
I was like, fuck high school, dog. I was like, fuck. I found out you could get, you could, as long as your people signed off and shit, as you were 16, you could leave high school, get your GED, and take that and go to community college. So I'm like, while y'all is doing 2 more years of high school, getting your high school diploma, bitch, I'm getting an associate degree.
Yeah, see, I should have did that. I wasn't privy to that. You know,
bro. When I heard that shit, I was like, "Oh, sign me the fuck up now."
Yeah, that shit would have been.
That was immediate shit. But yeah, man. Plus, it is what it is. But listen, y'all. I know competition might be baked deeply into hip hop. It's always been a competitive thing. It always will be. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, cats don't die over the shit. But it is what it is. But I'll see y'all, man. Saturday, guys. So be safe, man. Have a good week. We'll see you Saturday, and stay cool, man. Peace.
Peace.